You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. Good, great, grand morning to y'all wonderful, beautiful people, man. Ladies and lads, brethren and sisters, and hermanos, mi hermanas, princes and princesses. You know what I'm saying? Boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Oh, that's loud. That's loud. That's loud. We got to turn that down, cuzzy. You got to turn that down, cuzzy. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? Hold on real quick. I apologize for being a little tardy. Your boy had a little late breakfast. You know what I'm saying? But we here now. You know what I'm saying? Belly full. We good. You feel me? Belly full and we good, man. We got some wonderful dope people in the chat already, man. Let's hit this quick roll call, man. We got Oscar Perez in the building. He says, take your time. I appreciate it, brother. He said, I will say, if people were mad at this matchup of Berlanga and Skull, they better keep it 100 and say Big Charlo versus Canelo was ass. Yeah, I have no disagreement there. Shout out to my guy Isaiah in the building. Big member in the building. Yes, sir, man. Hey, we are approaching 3K on the subs, man. We're at 2,778 according to this count. Could be slightly off by 1 or 2, but it's usually around the number. So, man, we are trying to get the 3K, man. Let's get it. Turn me up. Let's go. I feel like 3K is a milestone, man. And then once we get to 3K, whoo, that 5K, then that 10K, then that 20K, then that, hey, you know what I'm talking about? Let's go, man. Let's turn up. Let's turn up, man. Before we turn up too much, let's go ahead and say our prayers, man, and thank the Most High. Join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for letting us get another opportunity at this game we call life. Please bless us on this day and guide us into any situation, no matter how rough it may seem or easy it may seem. Guide us with your patience, with your divinity, and with your purity, Lord. Give us a calm mind and a calm spirit as we approach any situation, no matter how nervous we may seem, no matter how anxious we may be about it, no matter how angry we might be about it, or happy, or or sad or confident in it. Lord, just guide us. And I know that as long as you guide us, then no matter the outcome, that's how it's supposed to be. As long as we do our part and utilize our blessings to the fullest and not be lazy and be strong and courageous like you meant us to be. So we come to you and ask you to humbly forgive us for our sins and give us the wisdom to put all our troubles on you and all our faith in you. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Monticello in the building. I saw you in the press conference. We got Monticello in the building. He said Kakashi poster looks like Bilal. Nasal sounds Muhammad. I saw you put that. Talking about he looks like Bilal on poster. Amen. Legacy in the building. Hey, Monticello is funny, man. I like Monticello, man. He come in here talk his little trash, but he always keep it boxing, man. And I appreciate that, man. Talk your trash. Alhamdulillah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you praise, however you praise it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you praise it, you're on the right path, in my opinion, you know. Everybody might differ on their particular, on the particulars, but as long as you praising the divine power, man, I don't think there's anything to bicker about, from my humble opinion, but, to each his own. But that's just my humble opinion, man. Salute, salutations, legacy, salutations, man. But let's get right to the topics, man. So, as you can see, Oscar's already on top of it, man. He said, shout out to Caleb Plant, Jermall Charlo squashing their beef and wanting to fight each other. Absolutely. Shout out to them. We got 2-4 in the building. Big member in the building. There he go right there. You know what I'm saying? The boy, the bull, the lion. Our boy 2-4 in the building. Yes, sir, man. Got to get my boy on the panel, man. What's up with that, man? Got to get my boy on the panel. But before we get to it, though, I want to announce that Clarissa Shields, a.k.a. The GOAT. The GOAT has a fight coming up, man. She shall be fighting the IBF light heavyweight champion Lanny Daniels on July 26th, man. But it will be a heavyweight bout. So Clarissa Shields will be defending her heavyweight title against a light heavyweight champion Lanny Daniels. So I'm looking forward to that. July 26th. It'll be in Michigan as well, just like her last fight. So I think that's going to be dope, man. We support the male fighters. And we also support the women fighters. I'm talking about one time for the ladies. We got George, the last patriot, in the building. My brother, my partner, my pal, George, the last patriot. You know what I'm saying? The last. You know what I'm saying? Don't get no better than that. Don't get no more than that. He said, Clarissa Shields, the bitter individual. Hey, watch your mouth now. Watch your mouth. But yeah, man. So, so we saw the press conference with Jermall Charlo yesterday and Caleb Plant. Jermall Charlo will be fighting Thomas Cornflake Lamana on the undercard of Caleb Plant versus Armada. Is it Armada or Armando? I think it's Armada Rosendez. Sorry. I apologize if I got his first name wrong. But that should be a good fight, man. I think a lot of people are overlooking these guys. Hopefully Jermall Charlo's not. Hopefully Caleb Plant's not. I'm not saying that Lamana and Rosendez are the best. However, I think they're going to come to fight, man. I think they're going to come to fight, and they're going to be tough opponents while it lasts. But I do expect Caleb Plant, Sweet Hands Plant, one of my favorite fighters, to beat Rosendez. And I expect Jermall Charlo to handle his business too. And he seems reinvigorated. You know what I'm saying? I saw an interview with him. He said he's 35 years old, but he feels like he's 28, or 25. I can't remember if he said 28 or 25, but he said he feels like he's young. He said he took 3 years off, so he's not even 35. He's 32. Okay, Terrence Howard, you're still 35. But I feel what you're saying. You're saying you don't feel 35, whatever 35 feels like, I'm around the same age. So, I feel the same, but at the same time, am I the same? I don't know. Sometimes I hit a little mile, I'd be good. But then another day I hit a mile and a half, I'd be like, hold on now, I used to do 3. Them legs be talking to you, boy. And they don't be saying nothing good. They don't be singing sweet nothings. Boy, they be swinging nothing. They be singing nothing but burning sensations. You know what I'm talking about? So, I don't know, man. But yeah, I look forward to Jermall Charlo coming back, Big Charlo. But what I thought was cool was that, like Isaiah said, it seems like they squashed their beef, but they've been squashed their beef, so that was a surprise to me because we know that they talked about it already. I always thought this was dope with Jermall Charlo because Jermall Charlo was like, after Caleb Plant slapped him, fired him. Speaking of slap, go ahead and slap that like button. If you didn't slap the like button yet, slap yourself and then slap the like button. That should be the first thing you do when you enter here. You know what I'm saying? It's just respectful, and it helps us grow and puts us in the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? So we keep going and growing like we want to do. But yeah, so one thing I thought was dope about Jermall Charlo, he didn't shy away from it, right? He took accountability, took responsibility and said, hey, man, if somebody was pulling on my beard or touching my face and I told them to stop and they persisted, I would slap them too. So I love that, man. It's not about doing wrong. It's about having accountability and admitting when you're wrong. That's a sign of maturation. That's a sign of adulthood. There's a lot of grown ass adults that ain't mature and they're really kids. They just grown ass kids, really. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him, man. You know, it's kind of like, I know it's different and I know we disagree. Shout out to me and Oscar, especially Oscar. I know you disagree, but it's the same thing I think about the Will Smith slap. It's like, bro, people talking trash, say, oh, Will Smith didn't have to do that. Will Smith didn't have to do this. Oh, he laughed about it first. That's cool, you know, but Chris Rock didn't have to talk about his wife either for him to get mad. You know what I'm saying? Whether he got mad initially, whether it was a fake outrage, whatever it was, maybe she convinced him to be mad, whatever it was, that's none of my business. But I know he slapped him. And I know that the slap was not the catalyst to the situation. Whatever happened before the slap is what was the initial action that caused the reaction. So Caleb Plant slapped Jermall Charlo. He deserved it. You know what I'm saying? When you disrespect, you get checked. That's how you're supposed to be. And then Chris Rock, you disrespected, you got slapped. It is what it is, man, whether you agree with it or not. We cannot disagree that the action was the slap was the reaction, not the initial action. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they took accountability, and in my personal opinion, Chris Rock took accountability by not pressing charges. Because I feel like if he would have pressed charges, the fact that he didn't press charges, like him saying, you know, I'm not going to do that to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man, number one. But also, number two is like, I know he didn't slap me for no reason. I know that I talked about his wife before in the past and he told me not to. I know that I did it again and he took, and I got checked for it. You know what I'm saying? So accountability is everything, man, in my personal opinion. So shout out to Jermall Charlo. But anyway, speaking about that, you know, we know they squashed their beef, but the dope thing is that they agreed to fight. Jermall Charlo agreed, and Caleb Plant, they were talking, if you watch the press conference, while they were on stage together, and they seemingly agreed to fight, you know, assuming that they both get past their opponents that are standing in front of them, which is nothing's a given in boxing. That's why we love boxing, right? Upsets do happen. It's literally a category, upset of the year, right? So it does happen, but I do think that they'll both handle business. However, I'm not sure, and I'm more unsure. I have more uncertainty around Jermall Charlo, because last time we seen him was a couple years ago, right? And he fought Jose Benavidez Jr. at a catchweight. They're supposed to fight at 160. My boy didn't make the weight. I think he weighed in at 166, and Jose Benavidez Jr. may have weighed in at 161 or something like that. Don't quote me. Something like that. But anyway, this is his debut at 168. He said he's more comfortable with the weight, so that's a good thing. However, you know, coming off of his mental health issues and stuff like that, which we wish him the best, he said he's good, so that's great. But it's like, I still have to see how he looks, man, because ring rust and compounded with the fact that you may not be fully dedicated to the sport, you may be contemplating retirement, maybe having 1 foot in, 1 foot out, then, you know, Thomas Lamana is not coming to play. And I'm not saying that he's the most dangerous guy, but if he gets past Thomas Lamana and he's half-stepping, Caleb Plant is a dangerous guy. Canelo is a dangerous guy. Jaime Munguia, even though he lost to Bruno Soros, he's still a dangerous guy. Edgar Berlanga, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's good or not, he's still a young, strong, dangerous guy. Ozzy Iglesias is still a dangerous guy. Diego Pacheco, Christian Billy, you know, I can keep going and keep going. So, you know, 168 is not that deep, but if you half-step it, boy, you can get checked. And so I'm going to be looking very closely to see what Charlo's talking about as far as in the ring and his skills go. And I look forward to that fight, man. If that fight happens, depending on how Charlo looks, you know, I'll be torn because I like Jermall Charlo a lot, but I like Caleb Plant more, admittedly. So I'll be leaning towards Caleb Plant. But as far as who do I think will win, who I think will win and who I'm rooting for aren't always the same. You know what I'm saying? They're not always the same thing, right? It's not always synonymous. I could be rooting for somebody, but I could also think somebody else is going to win. It's like with Teofimo and Barbosa. I was rooting for Barbosa, but I predicted that Teofimo was going to win, you know, because I don't really like Teofimo. But I always remain objective, and I don't really let my feelings cloud my judgment. I didn't think Barbosa would have enough. I didn't know he was going to look that bad, but, you know, I didn't think he was going to beat Teofimo. And obviously, recent history shows that we were correct. But yeah, so that fight, I really have to see what Charlo looks like. I always thought that was a great fight. I always thought it was if Jermall Charlo is at the top of his game, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's like 60-40 his favor. But we'll see, man. And then so also Jermall Charlo has called out Canelo. You know, he called out old Cinnamon. You know what I'm talking about? He called out old Cinnamon. Before we get to that topic, let's go ahead and hit this super chat. Shout out to my guy George, the last Patriot, said Plant slapped Charlo like hey, yo, he said Plant slap Charlo light skin is crazy. My boy dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits
Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, George the Last Patriot. Always showing love in the super chat, man. Dropping that graffiti on the chat walls, man. I appreciate that, George the Last Patriot. He says Will Smith laughed about it okay now. No way. It would have surprised you Jermall was drunk during that time. He probably was. Chris Rock didn't pull a bill. Hey, that's crazy. Will Smith a coward like Mokaev. Okay. He said, I'm going to be up in the pedal later today. Just been back in the gym and be sleeping in the morning. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, brother. You do your thing, man. Do your thing. Did I miss the prayer? Omar Williams? Yes, sir. We do the prayer the first thing when the show opens. So you can go back at the VOD, but I appreciate you anticipating the prayer, man. That makes me feel good, man. God is good. You know what I'm talking about? Doc, don't lie. Somebody would name Cornflake getting crunched. But that's the thing. I like Thomas Cornflake Lamana's energy, bro. That's the thing, bro. I think y'all know me well enough now, man. It's like, I like the fighters that are good, of course. You know, when we watch basketball, we want to see LeBron, we want to see Jokic, we want to see Doncic, we want to see Steph, we want to see Giannis, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, bro, you see what Mikal Bridges is doing with New York Knicks right now? Mikal Bridges is going crazy. You feel me? London Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge, any bridge. Bridges at 5. You know, he's going crazy right now. He's not an all-star, perennial, superstar, MVP caliber player, but you got to respect his game, man. The man's a defensive talent. Not only he's like, he has an X factor. And so with boxing, it's the same thing. It's like, I could find other reasons to like a guy besides just being undefeated and winning all the time. Like Thomas Lamana, man, he's been making the promo interesting, you know? Same with I don't know, Kakashi and Leigh Wood. I was just watching that press conference. That's interesting as well. Do I think that any of those guys are superstars? No, you know, and I think that Anthony Kakashi giving up his IBF belt to go fight Leigh Wood is kind of a testament to, I know that's the more lucrative fight, but I got to be honest. To me, I feel like it shows a little bit of, I'm not going to say a lack of confidence. Yeah, a lack of confidence in yourself at the world level. But most importantly, I think it shows that it shows an awareness that you know that you may not be world class, but you could perform at a high level, but you may not be tip top, you know? So I respect that still in some way. With Thomas Lamana, I think he's going to fight till he can't no more, you know what I'm saying? And I think that he's going to give it all he got, and I respect that, you know? It's like what did we just see with Ramon Cardenas? You know, Ramon Cardenas is not on Naya Inoue's level, but he definitely gave it all he got. And to me, sometimes that's worse than you being a superstar talent and you shying away from challenges, or you mailing it in like we saw this weekend. Like, we're mad at Devin Haney because we felt like he could have done more, even though I feel like it's a little bit too much pressure because this is his first fight back. And shout out to George Kambosos. George Kambosos said this in the interview too. He was like, man, we got to chill with Devin Haney, man. He just got back. He came back from a brutal altercation with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia cheated him, and he may not be the same. So this is his first fight back against a former Olympian, former unified champion, Jose Carlos Ramirez. That's not an easy guy to beat. It might have been boring. It might have been unimpressive. It may have been, it wasn't intriguing, but he still beat him convincingly. It may not have been in the way or the fashion that you have liked, but I think it's appropriate that we give him another fight. But I do think, you know, I don't know how good Devin Haney is going to be because he looked a little scared to get hit. As much, these are pugilists, right? So they're not scared, but as scared as you can be as a fighter, he seemed that scared, you know what I'm saying? Like a little weary and very cautious of being hit, you know? But I think that at the end of the day, it's about winning, you know? Now, if you don't want to watch Devin Haney's next fight because it left a sour taste in your mouth, cool. But let's not act like he didn't handle business. He handled business. He won convincingly. On my scorecard, he won 11 rounds to 1, you know? So even with William Skull and Canelo, I know that fight was trash as well. We didn't like watching that fight. Canelo's my favorite fighter, and I thought it was garbage.
Know your fucking place, trash.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was garbage, but at the same time, Canelo did what he had to do to win, you know, and he fought an undefeated champion. So it wasn't like they were fighting scrubs, you know what I'm saying? Canelo's fighting an undefeated champion for the IBF, to reclaim undisputed. Devin Haney was fighting a former unified champion, former Olympian. Even Ryan Garcia, I know he got, and I don't like Ryan Garcia. Y'all know that because he's a gosh dang cheater and a liar and a racist.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
But at the same time, I said this, right? I said, hey man, Rolly Romero is a former champion. You may not think he's that good compared to other champions, relative to other champions, but he's still a champion. He didn't lose to a scrub. The only people that made Rolly Romero look like a scrub are former champions. One pound for pound talent in Gervonta Tank Davis. The other one is a former champion in Isa Pitbull Cruz. And you can say, okay, maybe the old man Ishmael Barroso. You can say he made it like a scrub, but even still, Rolly Romero still won that fight. You know, so It is what it is, man. But before I get too distracted and off track, my point is that there's great fighters, good fighters, decent fighters, and bum fighters. I don't think Thomas Lamana is a bum. I think he's a decent fighter, and I think he's serviceable. I think there's a place for tough guys and guys that put on good performances, you know, like Ramon Cardenas, who put on a outstanding, shockingly impressive performance against Naoya Inoue, a pound for pound great. So, you know, like I said, and you know me, I've always said this. I said, man, we were giving Naoya Inoue credit because he's the name, but I'm sorry, I'm more impressed with Ramon Cardenas, because Ramon Cardenas is not the caliber fighter that should be able to drop Naoya Inoue. So it just shows you at any moment anything can happen, man. You never know. I mean, look at Bruno Saras. He came in there and put the whop whop on Jaime Munguia in his home crib of Tijuana, Mexico. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why boxing is dope, man. So shout out to Thomas Lamana. I'm not saying that Isaiah was down on Lamana, but I do agree with it that he's going to get crunched or stepped on or anything synonymous with getting whooped. But at the same time, though, I'm going to give him a chance. Tufo says 9 wins, 9 10s, 9 hens, 9 Charlo is 6. I'm asleep. Playing smack Charlo so hard, I thought he broke his neck. I'm talking about a full one. Yeah, he's you know what's crazy about that, Oscar? Hey, that boy he put the definition in fitted hats, because then he have on a hat, his hat didn't move. I said, gosh dang, but that hat was on securely. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, but anyway, speaking back to Charlo, man, Charlo has called out Plant. If Charlo could beat Plant, then I think he's ready for Canelo. But if he's calling out Canelo right now, which he's not, but he said he could take Canelo right now, I do agree with something that Oscar said earlier in the chat. He said, if you're mad at Canelo fighting Edgar Berlanga, who was ranked number 1 in the WBA, if you're mad at Canelo fighting William Skull, then you have to keep it consistent and be mad at Canelo fighting Jermall Charlo. And the reason why I agree with that is because we're talking about now, currently. If we're talking about Jermall Charlo about 5 years ago, then yeah, we wanted that fight, right? And I thought that was a good fight, even though, you know me, I'd go with Cinnamon, but I think that's a good fight. Now, right now in this moment, if we just say, okay, forget Thomas Lamana, go fight Canelo. Forget Caleb Plant, go fight Cinnamon. Nah, you know, that's not a good fight, because we have to see where Jermall Charlo is, and gauging off his last fight against Jose Benavidez Jr., he ain't got no business anywhere near the same ring as Saul Canelo Alvarez, a face of boxer right now. But I think that it's contingent on how he looks in his next 2 performances, starting off with the one in front of him, Thomas Lamana. If he looks good against him, handles business, makes quick work out of Lamana, moves on to Caleb Plant and somehow beats Caleb Plant, you know, or even looks good, you know, if they look good together, and Jermall Charlo, but let's say Jermall Charlo like dominates Caleb Plant, which I don't think he will, you know, regardless of who wins, I don't think it'll be a domination either way. But if he does beat Caleb Plant, then I think that's a good reason to get Canelo next, because I think Caleb Plant is the second best in the division after Canelo, and you know, Canelo stopped Caleb Plant. That was actually his last time getting a stoppage. And if Jermall Charlo could stop Caleb Plant, which I don't, like I said, I don't know if he'll stop him, but he does hit hard. I would like to say Jermall Charlo might be the hardest hitter at 168. We got to see how it looks though, but it'll probably be one punch power. It might be between him and Berlanga, man. You know, probably Canelo, of course, Canelo up there too, but we talking about just one punch power to not just knock you down. I'm not talking about just placement, because we know Canelo, he's good at timing and placement, but one punch power, I think it might go with Charlo or Berlanga. But we'll see though, man. So my point is that when you have power like that, you always have a chance, and he could put Caleb Plant to sleep. You never know. But right now, how it goes, I'm going with Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. But if Charlo could look good in his next 2 fights, then I think that he would not only be in the right to target Canelo, but I think we should be intrigued by him versus Cinnamon, you know. And we'll see how it goes. And that's assuming that Cinnamon gets past Terrence Bud Crawford as well, you know. So we shall see, man. We shall see. But moving on, man. Speaking of Canelo, everybody's targeting Canelo, right? We got Terrence Bud Crawford wanting Canelo. We got Jermall Charlo wanting Canelo. We know we got David Benavidez always wanting Canelo, and everybody else in the 168-pound division, 160-pound division. Even Janabek wants Canelo, and everybody at 175. Even, you know, Bivol wouldn't mind Canelo. So everybody wants Canelo. He's a face of boxer, right? But also Caleb Plant wants Canelo, in addition to Edgar Berlanga. So even the guys that fought Canelo want Canelo again. And I thought that was interesting that Plant says he'll beat, not only did he say he wants him, he said he'll beat Canelo in a rematch. And he said, man, Canelo has slowed down. And he said he didn't look the same, you know, especially against Skull. He's like, man, Canelo's my guy. But he said that, yeah, that fight, he looked very vulnerable. And I agree, you know, it was a bad performance. Anytime you have a bad performance, the people that want you are going to be licking their chops. They're like, hold on, man, I could probably capitalize on that vulnerability. I could probably take advantage of that chink in his armor. I could probably take advantage of that little slippage, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't think Caleb Plant is wrong for that. I don't agree with him because I think people overlook styles, you know, sometimes when it's convenient, you know, because sometimes when you want to see something, you're going to see it. You feel me? So I think a lot of us, and the fighters included, all of us, like when we want to see like a glimmer of hope, we're going to see it, whether it's really legitimately there or not. Caleb Plant's not going to fight William Skull like that. But I will say, Caleb Plant's not going to fight Canelo in the same fashion William Skull fought him. Caleb Plant is more of a fighter that's going to engage. You know, he will employ different tactics and stuff like that, like how he switched it up and adapted to Trevor McCumbee. And what I mean by that, he was fighting on the outside, and then he switched it up in real time and adapted and fought on the inside. So he's a thinker in there, right? So was Canelo. And he does subtle adaptations or sometimes obvious adaptations, and so does Canelo, right? And I think that while Canelo did look vulnerable against William Skull, I'm not sure if Caleb Plant could do that to him. Now I will say this though, when Caleb Plant was fighting Canelo, he was having success early, and it seemed like Canelo just lured him into a fight that he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he got tired, maybe, you know, but that's what Caleb Plant does, right? He looked good against Dave Benavidez as well, but then he just got worn down. So if Caleb Plant could somehow sustain the first 6 rounds of the fight, and if he could deal with the physical fatigue and more importantly, the mental fatigue, of course, he has a chance against anybody. Like I said, I think Canelo is Caleb Plant, I think is a very capable fighter. Barroso watched Ohara Davies, so I believe Rolly. I'm sure he definitely did watch Ohara. And speaking of Ohara Davies is on a card. I thought he retired. He's on a card, bro. He's on a. I don't know if he's doing Amir Khan a favor, but he's on an Amir Khan card. I said, whoa, Ohara Davies? Anyway, Janabek, huh? He don't want tough matchups now. Before he was all for the smoke. Now looking very shaky. Exactly. Yeah, Janabek need to sit his ass down. Rocking that 7 size fitted hat. You feel me? I need that size 8, bro. All my fitted hats are size 8, bro. I got my dreads, bro. You see that? Size 8. All my fitted hats are size 8 and above. I need that size 8, bro. I can't do nothing with them size 7s. That just make my head hurt. In my opinion, Plant never fully addresses his losses. I mean, he only has 2 losses, man. I don't know, Monticello. I think that what do you want him to do? You want him to what do you mean? Pugilism in the building. What's good, pugilism? I mean, he got stopped by Canelo, and then he went the distance with Benavidez. I don't think I need to see those fights again. That's number 1. Number 2, Benavidez is in a different division, and number 3, he just called out Canelo, so he is addressing one of his losses. He said he wants the Canelo one back. The David Benavidez, I don't really think that's necessary because while it wasn't a wash, it was a tough fight. You know, I don't know if you want to revisit that because as good as he looked at the beginning, I feel like the same thing will happen with David Benavidez. And I'm not gonna lie, man, David Benavidez, let's face it, right? Downplaying the gap in skill. Okay, I see what you're saying. But I don't really think that there was a skill gap with with Benavidez and Plant. Do you think it was a skill gap? And this is no knock on Dave Benavidez. I like Dave Benavidez. He's actually one of my favorite fighters from a mentality standpoint. The fact that he wants to fight everybody, but the fact does remain that just like similar to Devin Haney and other fighters like Ryan Garcia as well. But the difference between Devin Haney is that he's a consummate professional, right? He always makes weight. But Dave Benavidez definitely utilizes his size as an advantage. Like I would consider him a weight bully. Just like I would consider Devin Haney a weight bully. But like I said, the difference between, and Ryan Garcia is definitely a weight bully, but he's a lousy professional. He doesn't make weight. At least David Benavidez and Devin Haney make weight. Dave Benavidez doesn't always make weight. Devin Haney always makes weight. You know, he's ultimate professional. But Dave Benavidez usually makes weight himself. He had a couple mishaps here and there. But I can't really knock them too much because they make weight and there's no confines on how much you could rehydrate. So if you don't put that in your contract, if it's not in the IBF, you know, if you're not fighting in the IBF and you don't put it in your contract on your own, implement it yourself, then I don't have a problem with it. You know, it's not cheating. But the fact remains that Dave Benavidez comes in very big. And I think that, to me, that was a significant factor when he fought Caleb Plant. You know, him leaning on you, pushing on you, it's going to wear you down. I'm not saying that's the only thing, because Dave Benavidez is a great fighter, like I said. But that definitely plays in his favor in a lot of his matchups. So you see it. You know, you even saw it with him and David Morrell. And they're close to the same size. But you saw David Benavidez leaning on him and, you know, just being a bigger guy. So that's what I thought was more the reason why he beat Caleb Plant more than skill. Even with Canelo, bro, in my personal opinion, I thought Caleb Plant did I thought he was hanging with Canelo as far as skill. It's just, but what is a skill, right? A skill is not just your jab, not just your slickness, not your evasiveness, not just your footwork, right? It's the intangibles too. It's your heart. That's a skill. It's your mental. That's a skill. It's your endurance. That's a skill. Like, people overlook these things, right? So I do agree with you. You know, now that I think about it, you know, I agree with you. I think that there is a skill gap, and that skill gap comes from within for Canelo and Caleb Plant. And that's no disrespect to Caleb. Caleb Plant's a warrior, but Canelo got that extra. He got that extra. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, he could be losing a fight like against Amir Khan and whap, your life has changed. You know what I'm talking about? Or he could be losing the fight like he was against Caleb Plant, then he just stops you. You know what I'm saying? So that's those are the greats. That's like the clutch gene that, like, you know, MJ, Michael Jordan has, Kobe Bryant has, you know, I don't know, whoever, Larry Bird, you know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford, when he was down by Sean Porter and he went and stopped him, or dropped him, I should say, and then stopped him onto a stop. His father threw in the towel. You know, they just have, even Floyd Mayweather in a different way, right? Floyd Mayweather just has that ability to win, and just, even when it looks like he's being overwhelmed, just stand in the paint and just, you know what I'm saying, like he did against Oscar De La Hoya, or when he gets cracked, he finds a way to clinch and survive, and then comes back and washes Sugar Shane Mosley. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's just an X factor. I think Caleb Plant, Canelo has that old cinnamon. But yeah, man. So I thought that was interesting that Caleb Plant wanted the rematch. I mean, of course, everybody wants to fight Canelo. Hell, I want to fight Canelo, get all that money. Everything by John in the building. Bro, you are so right. There wasn't a big skill gap between David and Plant. I'm glad you saw that. Yeah, Everything by John. I appreciate it, bro. Shout out to you, man. My guy, Everything by John in the building. Yeah, and I like AJ Plant at 100. Appreciate that, brethren. And that's the thing, like, you know what I'm saying? I just try to give people credit where credit is due, man. I do think David Benavidez, like I said, I like, Canelo's my favorite fighter, but I never feel compelled to hate Benavidez. Benavidez is a dog, man. I think that Benavidez, to me, he's like a people's champion. He's like the definition of a people's champion. Like, we have some fighters that are like that, but we don't have too many. To me, he's from the same cloth as like an Errol Spence. You know, Tim Tszyu even has demonstrated that, you know. Guys that are just willing to fight anybody at any time. David Benavidez has that. So I don't know how people could like boxing and not like David Benavidez. However, I still think Canelo beats Benavidez, but I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think David Benavidez has a good chance, you know, but I'm just going with my boy Cinnamon. It's like Gervonta and Shakur. I want Gervonta and Shakur to fight. I got Gervonta winning, but I want to see it because I think Shakur has a style that stylistically could give Tank problems, and I think Tank has a style that could give Shakur problems, or anybody. You know, he'll crack your shit. You know, so I want to see these good matchups, man. You know, and but if they don't happen, I don't feel like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna be crying. I want these fights to happen, but if they don't happen, it's all good. You know, we have other compelling fights as well, like Canelo and Terrence Crawford. I got Canelo beating Terrence Crawford as well, just because the size differential. But I think it's gonna be a good fight. There's two phenomenal fighters sharing the ring. What's there to complain about? From my end, he said, I thought Barroso retired or horror. I'm telling you, Benavidez on that coke, he on that booger sugar. Hey, yo, like what they say time after time, when Bud beats Canelo, they're gonna say Canelo was too old. Yep, and 68 fights in his career. Yep, Bud is gonna get the De La Hoya treatment when he beat Chavez Jr. I agree with that, and then vice versa too. People are gonna say, oh, well, Terrence Crawford was too small, which I understand that. Terrence Crawford is coming up, but Terrence Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. So if Canelo beats him, I'm gonna give him full credit. I'm obviously going to give Terrence Crawford more credit if he beats Canelo, because he is going up, right? Two weight division to be exact from where he's at 154. But, you know, I still look at him as a 147 pounder. So you're going to be more impressed if Terrence Crawford beats Canelo, but you got to give Canelo his credit too, you know? And I got Canelo winning. I just think the size differential is too much to overcome by Terrence Crawford. I think people are overlooking Canelo's skills as well. You know, I would say that Terrence Crawford is slightly more skilled than Canelo, but you can't be the first ever undisputed 168 pounder without being skilled. You can't win so many division championships in so many divisions without being skilled. Go up to 175 and win the belt without being skilled. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would say Terrence Crawford has a slight skill gap for sure. You know, advantage. He has a slight skill gap advantage, but Canelo has a large size disparity advantage. Not height, right? They're about the same size as height. I think Terrence Crawford might be taller height wise. But, you know, Canelo fights bigger, taller guys all the time. But like I said, you know, when we talk about the largest land animal, we don't say a giraffe because a giraffe is the tallest. No, that's the tallest. We talk about the largest. We talk about an elephant because it's the largest, the biggest, the girthiest, whatever you want to say, the most massive, you know what I'm saying? And Canelo has enough mass to go all the way to 175. I think if Terrence Crawford went to 175, he'll get broken. You know what I'm talking about? By like a Beterbiev or something, you know. I'm not saying that Canelo would beat Beterbiev or Bivol either, but I don't think he'll get broken. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we saw him versus Bivol. He lost clearly, but he didn't get broken. You know, so I think that's the difference that people are overlooking, in my personal opinion. We'll see though, you know. I wish Canelo would have cut off the ring better against William Skull, because that would have helped me have more confidence. So if you're going with Canelo, then this weekend, I mean, if you're going with Bud, then this weekend with Skull, it gave you a little bit more hope, right? Because Canelo looked terrible, man. He wasn't cutting off the ring, even though I think he did enough to win. It was still terrible, man. I need to see more out of old Cinnamon. But I will say this too, to be careful, because don't get a false sense of hope, because Terrence Crawford doesn't fight like that. Terrence Crawford wants to outdog you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's going to be his downfall, is the fact that he is going to be willing to trade with Canelo, and Canelo going to make it hurt and put him in the dirt. Nah, Bud's not going to do what Skull did. I guarantee. I'll put money Bud's not going to do what Skull did. Lubin versus Holmes, yeah, that's a good fight. I put Buddy that he's not going to do what Skull did. I don't think he's going to do what William Skull did. I don't think he's going to do what Jermall Charlo did. I think he's going to fight. I'm not saying he's going to stand in the paint and meet in the center of the ring and just stand there. That'd be stupid, but he's going to fight. It's going to be a fight, I think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, man. Also, consider becoming a member, man. Shout out to all the members. I appreciate it, man. Consider becoming a member. It helps. The more memberships we have, the more it supports the channel by the YouTube algorithm. Not only that, you also get access to perks. You know what I'm saying? Like these dope emotes. Excuse me. You also get access to these fire emotes. You also get access to some of the things off the stream. And you get your messages prioritized when read. You know, I try to catch everybody's messages, but, you know, I definitely make sure I catch some members, man. So shout out to them. And also you get to feel happy that you get to support the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep us going and growing. He said Canelo's like an underdog versus Bud after that Skull performance. Yeah, I mean, to some people. I still don't think he's an underdog, but yeah, that definitely didn't make anybody feel more confident in Canelo's abilities. I would say that, because that performance was ass. He said Floyd was a difficult fight and GG was a tough fight, but it would be a bit of both. I agree with that. I think it'll be like a mixture. I don't know about really Triple G, but like I think it'll be a mixture of like a Floyd and like a Plant at the first half of the Plant fight, and maybe a little bit of Skull in there. I think he's going to use his movement as well. Can't outdog the dog, right? Exactly. The month of May don't have any big fights, but a ton of exciting matchups. Yeah, month of May has some good exciting matchups, man. They don't have any high profile fights, but big matchups, man. You know, we had the high profile fights at the beginning of the month, and if those are the high profile fights, those fights are trash. So I'm looking forward to the smaller fights. You feel me? You know, especially the end of the month where we have Plant versus Charlo. But yeah, man. So let's keep it going, man. Speaking of Charlo and Plant, you know, Charlo is talking about fighting Plant next, assuming he gets past Lamana, then potentially go into Canelo. But you know, I was watching the Charlo interview, Jermall Charlo, and he also had some things to say in regards to Rolly Romero and Devin Haney. He actually advised Rolly to fight Devin Haney, and I think that's good advice. I think if you're Rolly Romero, how good would it look that you beat Ryan Garcia, the guy that not only cheated, the guy that's overhyped, the guy that has a huge profile, right? Then you turn around and beat the guy that he was supposed to fight, that he was going to fight, that we expect him to fight after you beat him. So you beat Ryan Garcia, then you go and beat Devin Haney. That'd be a crazy Rolly run. I'm not saying he could do it, but gosh dang it, that's worth a try. Bro, that'd be crazy. I mean, what else is there for Rolly right now? I mean, he's a WBA interim champion, or regular champion, right? You know, Jerron Boots Ennis has a full belt. I don't think he should fight Boots. He fights Boots. He's getting clapped up, wrapped up, and slapped up. I think that's over with. Don't fight Boots. I don't know who else Rolly could fight at 147 to where it's an entertaining fight. I mean, I don't know. Blair Klobbs. I still think that, you know, I still don't see Rolly as a full 147 pounder. Maybe he might need to go back to 140. I don't know. But like, as far as being at 147, who could you fight up there? You could fight Devin Haney, because Devin Haney's coming from 140 just like you. You feel me? Or coming from a lower weight division just like you know, 140. So, excuse me. So I think Devin Haney is a perfect fight. I agree with Jermall Charlo. Now, can he win? I don't know. You know, but if he can, I think, like I said, if he can, which a lot of people would favor Rolly, right? Because of why? That left hook, right? We think that Devin Haney's chin is shot and crumbled and handicapped right now and crippled. So I think that'd be a great fight. I think that's a perfect fight for Rolly, win or lose. But then there's another option as well. Of course, you know, who's the biggest target at 147 as far as the champions? Brian Norman, Jermall Charlo, and Mario Barrios. I think the biggest target is Mario Barrios. Everybody wants to fight Mario Barrios. Devin Haney wants to fight Mario Barrios. Conor Benn wants to fight Mario Barrios. Jermall Charlo, Brian Norman Jr. want to fight Mario Barrios. Hell, Manny Pacquiao, who's supposed to be retired and running for Senate in the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? He wants to come out of retirement at 46.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
And fight Mario Barrios. You know what I'm talking about? I think people overlook Mario Barrios. I think he's a good champion, but he's definitely the weakest link out of all the title holders, right? Mario Barrios having the WBC belt. I think that'd be a good fight for Rolly as well, but he can't get him right now because Rolly, like I announced a week ago, Manny Pacquiao was looking to fight Barrios. And you're not gonna pass up a check with the legend. You know what I'm talking about? You're not gonna pass that up. So shout out to Manny Pacquiao. I think Barrios beats Pacquiao, and then afterwards, is Mario Barrios going to be willing to fight Rolly Romero? I would say no, because I mean maybe because I think that he'll have a better chance as opposed to Boots or as opposed to Boots or Norman, and it probably generates the same amount of revenue, probably more with Rolly. He's probably more popular right now, but I mean you could fight Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn's another big fight. He has England behind him, so assuming Conor Benn doesn't get the Eubank rematch, then I think that Mario Barrios would probably entertain Conor Benn more than Rolly Romero. But maybe not. I don't know. We'll see, man. But I just think Rolly Romero, the perfect fight for him is Devin Haney, man. I think that's a perfect fight, unless I think about somebody else and come up with somebody else. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good fight for Rolly. Do I think he'll win though? I think a lot of people think that he'll win because of what he did to Ryan, and we're going off of what Ryan did to Devin. But like I said, you cannot negate the fact that the man cheated. That means something. Now, I feel like only goofies and groupies and overall people that are moronic, you know what I'm saying, gosh dang morons or imbeciles think that PEDs don't matter. PEDs matter in every sport. He said if Bud fights Canelo the way he fought Madrigal, Bud losing. I agree with that. He said Rolly admitted Devin wanted to fight, but Devin wanted $8 million and he wanted to give Rolly $100K. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, Devin is notorious for shorting people as far as the money goes, right? So that I believe that. I saw that too. I definitely believe that. But yeah, man, Rolly will get the Barrios Pac-Man fight winner. Hey, that'd be good too. Before any of the 140 champions, since they're all on PBC. That's a good point. Yeah, you're right about that, Isaiah. So when you look at the politics about it, you know, and being in-house, yeah, that's the easiest fight to facilitate since they're all in the same promotional company or record label. If you want to look at it through music lens, yeah, you're right about that. That's the easiest fight to facilitate. But you know, he is a WBA regular champion because remember the WBA with President Gilberto Mendoza tried to force his way into a money fight with Ryan Garcia and Jerron Boots Ennis, tried to force them to consolidate. It was never supposed to be Rolly Romero having the WBA interim belt. That's why they made it. They made it for Ryan Garcia to boost his profile. You know what I'm saying? God don't like ugly. You know what I'm talking about? So you can make all the plans in the world, but if it's not in God's plan, then it's then it's futile. You know what I'm saying? Your resistance is futile. So yeah, they tried to force Ryan Garcia into a belt. He never been a belt holder before, and their plans just fell through because Rolly wasn't going. So shout out to Rolly Romero. But anyway, like I said, Charlo advised Rolly to fight Devin. I think that's a good advice. Like I said, I don't know who wins. I think that'd be you know, considering I think last year well actually last year this time will still be May, so I would say last year and a month ago before Devin Haney fought Ryan Garcia, I think everybody would have Devin Haney smashing Rolly. Now I think times have changed. I think people would have, I think a good solid amount of people, a substantial amount of people would actually have Rolly Romero beating Devin Haney, and I think it's a pretty close fight. I'm one of them that think it's a close fight. I don't know who would win. I would lean towards Devin Haney still though, but if he's gonna approach it like he approached Ramirez, then I think I wouldn't even want to see it. I'll be honest. I don't even want to see Devin Haney fight again if that's how he's going to approach it. But like I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he just employed that strategy because he knew that would be successful against Ramirez, number one. Number two, you know, he still isn't fully back yet. You know what's so crazy about this, though, too? A lot of people are affording Ryan Garcia an excuse of being out a year. They're saying, oh, you know, well, it's the ring rush from Ryan Garcia. That's why he lost it to Rolly Romero.
What?
Well, what do you mean the ring rush? Badu Jack is 41 years old. Badu Jack ain't been in the ring for 2 years. And he's 41 years old. And he came back and put on a good performance against Noel McCain and defended his belt. Ryan Garcia is 26 years old. He can't miss a year. How many times do you think these young brothers fight? They don't fight nothing but once a year anyway. The most Ryan Garcia has fought in the last 3 years is twice. So he missed one fight. And that's why he performed badly. Oh, but Devin Haney, who missed the same exact amount of time, he has a bad performance in a win. And we're saying, oh, he needs to hang him up because he's trash. Oh, but the guy who lost, he gets an excuse to having a year off. And he's the one that cheated in the last fight. He didn't get damaged. He cheated. But he's the one that gets an excuse. But Devin Haney, who wins, even though he looks shitty, he won, had the same amount of time off. He's the one that's trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
What are we doing? What are we? That's why it's not good to be an idiot. That's why you never argue with those that are demonstrating idiocy, because they don't think. They don't think. They just regurgitate what they hear. They hear somebody else saying it and they like them. They think they're cool. They think they have on nice shoes, or they like the girl or the boy they're dating. You know what I'm saying? Mind my business. You know, they like whoever they're dating. So like, oh, that sounds good. I'm going to repeat it. Dummy. We're more hard. I'm hearing more people talk trash about Devin Haney in a win than Ryan Garcia in a loss. And Rolly Romero was the bigger underdog than Jose Carlos Ramirez. If you go look at the betting odds, the fight was closer for Devin Haney and Ramirez than it was for Rolly and Ryan. But the guy who won is getting critiqued more harshly than the guy who lost. Make it make sense, chat. Make it make sense, Isaiah. Please, bro, because I don't understand. Make it make sense, bro. Either it doesn't make sense or we're all stupid. Like I said, man, whether you like Devin Haney or you like Ryan Garcia, just be honest, man. Just be honest, man. Let's normalize being honest, man, and let's neutralize the gosh dang idiots. But speaking of freaking Haney again, man, sticking on the topic of Devin Haney, man, Conor Ben has come out and also said he wants Haney. So just like I was talking about old Cinnamon being a target, Devin Haney has a big target on his back. Conor Ben says if there's no Eubank rematch, he wants Devin Haney. But guess what else he said? He said Devin Haney, he doesn't want Devin Haney to sue him. He doesn't want Devin Haney to have a lawsuit, right, against him.
Shut up, bitch.
He said, y'all still talking about Ryan? I mean, we're talking about boxing. Ryan Garcia is a boxer. If we were praising Ryan, you wouldn't have an issue. So you still butthurt about Ryan Jonathan Ramirez? Shout out to my guy Jonathan Ramirez in the building. It's funny. It's funny when people don't like when someone's talking about a fighter that they like after they lost. What you mean? Of course. We also talked about Canelo today. They fought on the same weekend, right? We talked about Devin Haney. We're still talking about Devin Haney. They fought on the same day. Oh, but we talk about Ryan Garcia and his loss. It's a problem. We talked about Rolly Romero too. What you mean still? It's Thursday. That was the last fight. What are you talking about, Jonathan? What are we supposed to be talking about, bro? We talked about Canelo and Skull. I even talked about Ramon Cardenas. Oh, but we talk about Ryan Garcia because you like him. It hurt your little feelings. Shout out to my guy, Jonathan Ramirez. That's my guy, though. I rock with you, Jonathan. But anyway, so Conor Ben, this is what he said, bro. Conor Ben said that he wants Devin Haney, but he said he doesn't want to fight Devin Haney. He's not sure because he doesn't want Devin Haney to sue him. You don't want Devin Haney to sue you.
All right, I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Bitch, I'm gonna put a case on everybody that cheats. So why don't you say, oh, I won't cheat? Then you won't get sued. But that's the mentality of these idiots, bro. I will shout out to Conor Ben because I'm not a fan of Conor Ben either because he's a little cheater too. But the fact that he demonstrated heart, he showed a lot of heart against Chris Eubank. I had to give it up to him. You know what I'm saying? Got to give him respect because I like boxing that much. However, I don't respect you coming out trying to disrespect somebody who sued somebody that cheated him. Didn't you just threaten to take Chris Eubank to court for slapping you with an egg? Didn't Chris Eubank have to pay some money for slapping you with an egg, the same egg that you should have enjoyed? Because apparently you got the PEDs from the egg, right? So he slapped you with an egg, so you should be happy. Maybe he powered you up. You feel me? But Chris Eubank lost $100,000 for that. Now it's not Conor Ben's fault. But let's apply the same energy to the Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia situation. Devin Haney is a boxer. Devin Haney Promotions is a promotional company. Golden Boy sues people all the time as a promotions. Matchroom sues people all the time as a promotions. MVP is a Jake Paul. Matter of fact, they just came out of a lawsuit with Matchroom. Queensberry just gave Chris Eubank Jr. a cease and desist order and sued him because he called him a scumbag. So in the business of boxing, matter of fact, when Antonio Tarver tested positive for PEDs against Steve Cunningham took him to court for that. So just because you don't know something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And how and where did we come to as a boxing, in a place of boxing, to where a known cheater can talk trash about potentially getting reprimanded for cheating? No, bitch, you just don't cheat and you won't get sued. Devin Haney didn't sue all the fighters that he got into it with, but he did sue the one that cheated, the one that tested positive for ostarine. 60 times the allowable limit of ostarine, to be exact. 6 nanograms per milliliter to be exact. 20 times the amount that Amir Khan had in his system when he tested positive for ostarine, to be exact. Amir Khan tested positive for 0.3 nanograms per milliliter, to be exact. Ryan Garcia tested positive for 6 nanograms per milliliter, to be exact. And that's 20 times the amount of Amir Khan, to be exact. And he got 1 year. That's half the time that Amir Khan got, to be exact. You see how that goes? When you speak facts, you're usually exact. You don't have to wonder, you don't have to speculate, you don't have to put your emotions into it. Whether you like Ryan Garcia or you think the PEDs mattered, you can't change the fact that he had it in his system. Same with Conor Ben. You can't change the fact that he had it in his system when he fought whoever the hell he fought. You feel me? He tested positive, got suspended for it. So how about we just don't cheat and then we won't get sued? Or we won't get fined, or we won't get a no contest, or we won't get suspended. How about that? You ever thought about that? I mean, just do that. So I thought it was very corny of Conor Ben to even say that. I think that was funny. So, I mean, if you're saying that Devin Haney will sue you, then that means that you're basically admitting that you're going to cheat again. Fucking dumbass.
You dumbass.
Like, I didn't get it. I thought that was very distasteful. I'm not saying that you got to agree with Devin Haney suing or whatever. That's cool. I mean, it doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where I'm from, it doesn't look good. But I know that this is not a situation of being in the street. This is business. Business is different. People in this business sue all the time. Oscar De La Hoya got paid for Ryan Garcia cheating Devin Haney. Why can't Devin Haney? The New York State Athletic Commission got paid for Ryan Garcia cheating Devin Haney. Why can't Devin Haney? The BBBFC, British Boxing Board of Control, got paid for Conor Ben cheating and Chris Eubank slapping Conor Ben. Why can't the fighters? I'm just confused. I'm just confused. Shout out to my guy Kendrick in the building. He said everyone sympathizes for Ryan and clowning Dev for the performance. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying don't clown Devin. I'm just saying keep the same energy. Devin's performance was trash. Please don't get it twisted. I'm not advocating or saying, oh, I'm defending the performance. No, Canelo's performance was trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Devin Haney's performance was trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But you know who else's performance was trash? Ryan Garcia's.
Yeah.
Arnold Barbosa's.
Yeah.
Jose Carlos Ramirez.
Yeah.
And William Skull.
Yeah.
All their performances were trash. Nah, I didn't say BBC. I said BBB of C, bum. See, you're just nasty, bro. I said BBB of C, British Boxing Board of Control. Ain't nobody say no gosh dang BBC, bro. Tighten up, man. That's a pause. Yeah, we gonna pause that.
No Diddy.
Yeah, we gonna pause that. Yeah, no Diddy. This man said BBC. What you think about Monster Inoue versus Nakatani after getting dropped again, and how you see Inoue versus MJ? Well, you already know how I felt before Inoue got dropped, and then before he got dropped again, I had Junto Nakatani. So you know, after he got dropped by Luis Nery, and then after he got dropped by Ramon Cardenas, and then after we recognized that he got dropped by 2 left hands, and then after we recognized Nakatani as a southpaw, and then after we recognized that when Nakatani hits you with that left hand, you do not get back up. I'm going to go with Nakatani still. I could be wrong, though. You know what I'm saying? Naoya Inoue's a monster, literally. You know what I'm saying? He's a beast. He's pound for pound talent. Top 1, 2, or 3. It's interchangeable. Phenomenal talent. All-time great already. You know, but I think that Junto Nakatani is a bad matchup for him. And I'm going to stick with that. I was one of the first people that I've seen say that I said Nakatani would beat I was hoping the ideal situation for me was that Junto Nakatani would have fought Takuma in a way when he was a WBA champion at 118, and they could have had a WBC WBA unification fight, and then Nakatani beat Takuma in a way. Then his big brother Nai Inoue would have to come back and try to avenge his brother's loss, but then he ends up failing in the process, and Nakatani slays both the gosh dang monster and the monster's brother. That's how I wanted to see it. But of course, Seiya Susumi spoiled those plans when Seiya Susumi went in there and smoked Takuma in a way. Seiya Susumi smoked him. I'm talking about, shout out to Seiya Susumi. That was a great performance. I'm talking about that boy don't get tired. Now Seiya Susumi got an infinite gas tank, man. That man kept throwing punches, and Takuma anyway looked confused. He looked confused, man. How you see Juto versus Nishida? Nishida after Japan's most watched. Better stop playing, Oscar. Come on, man. Come on, man. Nishida, the cheetah, meat beater. Junto in 5. Junto in 5. Stop playing, man. Junto is going to beat Nishida, going to unify those belts, the IBF and the WBC, and then we going to move on to Naya Inoue and slay the monster, man. The monster slayer. Stop playing. That's how it's going to go. You feel me? Shout out to Mama Doc. Mama Doc sent me some scriptures. Let's go ahead and read it. It said, if what's ahead scares you and what's behind hurts you, then look up above. God will guide you. Amen. In this world, you will have trouble. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace, and take heart. I have overcome the world. Amen. You, dear children, are from God and have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. Amen. So keep your head up. Trust in God always, and everything's going to be all right. Give me a second. Let me respond to my mom. What? Nakatani beating Nishida is fake news?
If you out here getting fake vagina over your fake jury, reality is reality.
Man, stop it, bro. The fake news is that you think that Nishida is gonna beat Junto. You know, good gosh dang well Junto gonna beat Nishida. Stop it, man. That's big Junto. But yeah, man. So shout out to Jermall Charlo, man. I thought it was interesting that he gave his opinion, and yeah, I mean, Rolly could always go fight Gervonta too, but for a rematch. But Gervonta Tank Davis at 135, Rolly's at 147. I don't really like even entertaining matches that aren't in the same division, man. Especially when there's interesting fights in their own division. Like I said, Rolly and Devin's interesting, and then of course Tank and anybody's interesting at 135. Tank and Shakur, Tank and Keyshawn. That'll be Davis on Davis crime. Tank and Loma when Lomachenko fully heals from his comes back from his medical exemption that he has. He's out till October on medical leave because he hurt his back. But even if Loma doesn't come back, then Tank could fight the winner of Raymond Muratalla versus Zaur Abduliev, right? Because they'll be fighting for an interim IBF title, and if Lomachenko doesn't fight them upon his return, he has till October to decide to fight them. If he doesn't, then there will be the winner of that fight will be elevated to full champion. So then we could potentially see in a couple months a change into the guard, man. Raymond Muratalla or Zaur Abduliev could be the IBF champion. So any unification is cool for me at 135. And we have Zepeda and Shakur, man. I'm looking forward to that as well. So one of my favorite verses from Proverbs. Amen. He said, whose loveth instruction, loveth knowledge. Amen. But he that hateth reproof is brutish. Talk to him. King James Version. Talk to him. Just like I see Junto beat the Inoue and Nishida beating Junto. Stop it, Oscar. Fake news. Stop it. You don't even believe it. He don't even believe that. He's trying to convince himself. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy trying to convince himself, man. I'm not mad at that, man. If you don't believe it, who will? Nishida don't even believe it. He ain't gonna tell you that, though. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, man. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Discord. If anybody wants to pull up, you're more than welcome. The Discord is open, man. It's for everybody, man. Do not feel intimidated, you know what I'm saying? And whether you're consider yourself a casual or a purist or anything in between, pull up, man. Pull up to the Discord. We gonna have good conversations, man. Shout out to Isaiah. He said, "This is why I knew Bacoli wasn't winning."
I'm a superstar, we just
The jelly roll, hey, the belly roll, hey, the jelly, the belly roll, hey. But this is even before the Parker fight. To be fair, this is kind of old. To be fair, this happened even before the this is before the Parker fight. This is like somewhere in between the Jaron Anderson and Parker fight. That's what this video is from. Oh man, to be fair. After watching some tape from Inoue, I don't think Big Junto stands a chance. Inoue would take his best shot. Hey, shout out to you, Isaiah. Hey, like I said, hey, I'm not saying, I can never say I'm 100% sure Junto Nakatani will beat Inoue. Inoue is a great fighter. I cannot be 100% sure anybody would beat Inoue. I cannot be 100% sure anybody would beat Terrence Crawford. I cannot be 100% sure that anybody would beat Alexander Usyk. They are in rarefied air. Those gentlemen are monsters. They are phenomenal. They are great fighters. Like I said, they have the unique distinction, the commonality of all being undisputed in the 2 weight classes and being undefeated while doing it. Multi-division champions. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot say for sure anybody's going to beat any one of those 3. However, I could tell you what I think. And guys, dang it, I think Junto going to put that bang on him. I'm talking about drop a bomb on him. I'm talking about might hit your mom on him. Come on now. He might hit him so hard his mama might feel it. Junto gonna put that pressure. And I'll tell you this. I'm not saying he's gonna win, but I will tell you this. If Junto Nakatani lands on Naoya Inoue like Luis Nery did, like Ramon Cardenas did, it's over with. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right. You know what I'm telling you? Because Junto Nakatani is a good boxer. No disrespect to Luis Nery, no disrespect to Ramon Cardenas, but you know they're not good boxers. How do you know? Because the whole time when Ramon Cardenas, after he hit him with that left hook, what did he kept trying to throw? Hooks, hooks, hooks. I'm talking about he was throwing no-look hooks. He was out there throwing no-look hooks, like gosh dang no-look passes, like from Chris Paul and Jokic and Rondo and them. He was throwing no-look hooks. He want you closing his eyes and throwing hooks. You think you go hit Inoue like that? You might hit him one time and get lucky, but it's not going to happen again because he's going to adapt. He's a great fighter. Junto Nakatani is not going to throw recklessly like that. Even Luis Nery, after he hit Naoya Inoue, he didn't know what else to do. It's like he surprised himself. Junto Nakatani is a good fighter. And what do good fighters do? They expect goodness and greatness out themselves. So if he drops Naoya Inoue, he's not going to be surprised and be, oh, I can't believe I just did that. He's not going to get caught up like that. Oh, I got to keep throwing the same punches over again because that's all I got. No. He going to break him down to the ground. You know what I'm talking about? And Naoya Inoue will not be able to rebound. You see what I did there? Bars. I need to drop a mixtape. He going to knock him down to the ground, and Inoue won't be able to rebound. Now, if Inoue knocks Junto Nakatani down, we never seen Nakatani taste the canvas. So if Inoue could knock down Nakatani, maybe it's over for him too. I don't know. We have seen Nakatani get hit hard. As a matter of fact, in his last fight against David Cuellar, he got hit with a pretty good shot. He recovered. He didn't get dropped, but he did recover. Can he recover from a Naoya Inoue good shot? I don't know. That's why it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely think the smart money's on Inoue, but I got Junto. My money's still on it. Hey, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Don't let me convince you. You know what I'm talking about? To be fair, on Junto, it's very difficult to find tape on Junto. He's been on the KO. Come on now. Come on now, Oscar. Ask Alessandro Santiago about Junto. Ask David Cuellar about Junto. You know what I'm talking about? Come on now. Ask Astrolabio about Junto. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't make it. They ain't see the end. They ain't see the 12th round. You feel me? Ask Maloney about Junto. Well, you can ask Maloney about Naoya Inoue too. Was that Andrew Maloney was Junto and then Jason Maloney was Naoya Inoue? Ask him. So you know what I'm talking about? Ask him. They ain't make the last bell. You better ask about Junto. Big Junto. Ryan hit Devin so hard his mom felt it in the crowd, so it's with Dash crazy. Come on, man. His mama passed out, man. Come on, man. You disrespectful, bro.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
Shout out to Devin's mama, man. Hey, that's why boxing ain't no joke, man. You know, man, his mama passed out, bro. Bro, this man Isaiah laughing about the shit, bro. You diabolic, bro. Hey. You die. That's why I say these fighters, man, they earn every penny, man. They earn every penny, man. Because, bro, people will laugh at anything, bro. This man, mom, passed out in the crowd because her son was getting beat up. And this man laughing about it, bro. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, bro. Shout out to Mama Haney, man. Shout out to Trill Bill Haney, man. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to him. I ain't laughing, I swear. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Ask below. Yeah. Hey. I will say this, though. Maloney was looking good, Orion. Maloney was looking good against Tenshin Nasukawa. Come on now. He was looking pretty good now. And Tenshin Nasukawa, no disrespect to Nasukawa, but I don't really have too much faith in him, man. I think he gets hit quite a bit, man. I think he needs to work on his defense, you know. But I like watching him. He's like, to me, he reminds me of like Jin Sasaki or Jaime Munguia. They block with their face. They're heavily their game is predicated off their overwhelming offense, right? They throw punches and bunches, a high volume of punches. But Jaime Munguia blocks with his face, as we saw that. Jin Sasaki, he's very susceptible to get hit, right? Nasukawa, you can ask Nasukawa about Maloney. Maloney was getting to him now. So we'll see about Nasukawa, man. He needs to tighten up on his defense, but he is a young fighter, so he can improve. Mama Haney passed out like the Pope just. The Pope did. Hey, yo, rest in peace, the Pope. Nah, y'all wildin'. Nah. Hey, 2-4, they wildin', bro. Nah, I'm about to get off, bro. You ain't gonna have the lightning strike me. This man said Mama Haney passed out like the Pope, just that the Pope didn't get bumbuck. Yo, rest in peace to the Pope, man. Pope Francis, man. Rest in peace to the Pope, man. Hey, yo, that's the first Pope ever from South America, man. That's crazy, bro. Y'all, hey, man. That's what. See the internet, bro. The internet, y'all vicious, man. Y'all vicious, man. That's crazy. How you talk about somebody's mama and the Pope in the same sentence, bro? How you talk about somebody's mama and the Pope in one sentence? Yeah, that one sentence, boy. You going on that ride, and I'm not going. That's crazy, bro. Nah, y'all wildin'. Y'all wildin'. No, sir. I love life. And I love my blessings. You think Ryan's punch affected the Pope? Nah, that's crazy. Y'all wrong, man. I'm not going with you. Wherever y'all going, I'm not going. Let's check Twitter real quick and see what they talk about on Twitter, man. Hey, yo. Y'all crazy, bro. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say this part too. Yeah, check this out. So Bill Haney, I guess he caught wind of what Jermall Charlo said in regards to Rolly Romero fighting Devin Haney. This man came back and said, Bill Haney said Jermall Charlo blew his whole career on bud and alcohol. Now he talk about Devin Haney, 26, who got more money and more accomplishments than two brothers named Charlo. So Devin Haney said, hey, man, Bill Haney said Devin Haney's more accomplished than both the Charlos put together. I said, damn. I think that's a stretch, because let's face it, while Devin Haney is very accomplished young man, shout out to Devin Haney. He is the youngest undisputed male champion in the 4-belt era. Gabriela Fedora is the youngest champion, period. Youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era, period. Shout out to Gabriela Fedora. Once again, one time for the ladies. You know what I'm talking about? But Devin Haney is very accomplished, you know what I'm saying? He's the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era on the male side. But Jermall are accomplished too. Jermall Charlo has been a champion for a long time. Jermall Charlo actually unified the belts at 154. So he's also undisputed as well. So I think that's a stretch. But at the same time, Devin Haney, I love this. I love the trash talk, man. I know a lot of people don't like it, man. I like the trash talk. I don't really care for the trash talk for guys that it's not realistic for them to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Devin Haney, Devin Haney and Charlo, they're not going to fight, right? So that is kind of like, to me, is just worthless, waste of time. But I like the trash talk, man. Wait, what did Teofimo do? Don't Teofimo on that racist stuff again? What did TOP gonna do? Give me a second, Chabby. I saw something about him calling Bud the N-word, but I wasn't sure if that was old or new. That's the thing, bro. The man's so racist that he does it so much that I can't even tell if his racism is new or old. I did see something about him calling Terrence Bud Crawford the N-word, but I don't know if that was recent or if it was old. That's why I don't even try. I try my best not even to talk about that goofy. I love boxing, but man, he ain't doing stupid shit. Hey, but also too, man, shout out to my guy. Ooh. Shout out to my boy, man. Shout out to my guy Clone, man. He hit me on the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Showing love, man. You know, I appreciate that. My boy dropping $10 on the Cash App with that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Yo, this man, okay. Look what Clone said, Oscar. Clone said, $10.99. I challenge Omari for the vacant title. You challenge Omari? Omari that's 10 years old, you challenge Omari for a vacant title to square up?
Nigga, you's a bitch.
So you ducking Kendrick, you ducking Irony, you ducking Oscar, and you call it out Omari? Oh, nah, bro. Nah, you ducking, bro. That's crazy, bro. This man called out Omari. Omari is 10 years old, bro. What they say on the Boondocks, what Riley say? I'm 8. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yo, Clone is crazy, bro. You ain't challenged Isaiah. You ain't challenged Tufo. This man challenged Omari, bro. Omari. That's wild. Yo, Clone is crazy. Hey, but chat, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. I was watching I was watching the Leigh Wood and Anthony Kakasi. I was watching the Leigh Wood and Anthony Kakasi press conference. I think that's going to be a good fight, man. I have Kakasi winning. I have Kakasi stopping Leigh Wood. But what, Leigh Wood has a couple, I think he has like 2 or 3 losses. 3 losses, if I'm not mistaken. Anthony Kakasi has 1 loss early in his career. He just recently gave up the IBF belt to fight Leigh Wood for a more lucrative fight as opposed to fighting his mandatory Edward Sugar Nunez. I'm not mad at that move, but to me, if you're going to give up your belt to fight somebody else, then you have to make a statement. And I think Kakasi, the Apache, I think he will make a statement. And I got him beating Leigh Wood, who's a tough fighter, in around 8 or 9. But we'll see, man. I think it's gonna be a good fight, though. I think, you know, it's our English brethren and sister gonna be throwing down, so should be all right. It should be an all right. Should be an all right fight. You know what I'm talking about? I see Chris Eubank in here signing eggs. That should be an all right. Look, check this out, chat. Chris Eubank Jr. over here signing eggs. Nah, that's funny as hell, bro. That's funny as hell, bro. That's funny as hell. Yo, he out here signing eggs, man. Come on, bro. That's why I love just having fun, man. That's why boxing can be fun, man. Everybody always uptight all the time, man. We just have fun, have good conversations, man. Shout out to my guy Cito. What up? They're about to fight on Saturday, man. They got another guy, undefeated fight, Ezra Taylor versus I can't remember the guy he's fighting. Jordan I can't remember. Who's he fighting again? Josh something. They're both undefeated though. That should be a good fight. I ain't gonna lie, I think Ezra Taylor I'm not really too big on him. I think he's 30 years old, 11 fights. He's fighting Troy Jones. And then the winner will get Edmondson, Lewis Edmondson, who's another undefeated fighter. I think they're pretty good. They're good enough to be like stars nationally, you know what I'm saying? Like local stars as far as in their country. But I don't think they'll be crossover stars. But we'll see though, man. We'll see. It should be good fights, man. Can I call out my 8-month baby for vacant square up title? You feel me? That's what it seems like. Apparently we can. But chat, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Isaiah said Troy Jones' ass. Nah. I ain't gonna say yes, but he, I don't really think any of them are that good. But they all are. I will give them respect. They are undefeated. They're putting their undefeated records on the line. So that is dope, man. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Hey, y'all check out your boy's video, man. Y'all checked out your boy's video, chat? I'm gonna give y'all a peek at this is what happens when you're a member, chat. You get to see the membership only videos. And that's me working out, man. Check this out. This is what I did last night. Just a little fun thing I did. Y'all don't make fun of me, man. This is me doing my muscle ups, man. Your boy getting a little better with the muscle ups now. You know what I'm saying? And God is good. I got better with the muscle up that somebody asked me yesterday to teach him how to do muscle ups. I just taught myself a month ago. I've been doing it for a month. I want to show y'all this, man. This is me. This is your boy out here trying to get it in. You feel me? Check it out, baby.
Got a present for you.
What y'all know about Frankie Lyman and the teenagers? Come on, believe me. Every day my love goes strong. Find the place there in your heart. I'll tell you all the ABCs. Hey. Come on now. What you know about that Frankie Lyman and the teenagers, man? What y'all know about that, man? Y'all don't know nothing about that oldie goldies, man. Y'all don't know nothing about that, man. You know what I'm talking about? Dub and Tech, them dad probably know about it. My boy Dub and Tech. Yo, 913 Boxer, salutations, my brethren. What's good? So if Navarrete looks good, you think he should try to move up? I don't think Navarrete should move up. I mean, if he's struggling to make 130, I know he tried to go to 135 when he fought Denise Berinchyk and he came up short for the vacant title for WBO. If he can't make weight, then move up. But I don't think. I think 130 is where he needs to be for him. Unfortunately or fortunately, let's be honest, Navarrete's he's kind of like in the Devin Haney and David Benavidez boat, right? They're weight bullies, right? As far as blowing up after the weigh-in, you know what I'm saying? I think that once Navarrete loses that advantage, then I think he'll struggle, and that's what he did against Denise Berinchyk, right? He proved that he doesn't really adapt. He just has one way, and that's to overwhelm you and use his superior size to apply that pressure. So shout out to Charlie Suarez. That's who Oscar is talking about. So he's fighting an undefeated undefeated Filipino fighter. Shout out to our Filipino brethren and sister, Charlie Suarez. And I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I think people are sleeping on it because we don't really know Charlie Suarez. I only seen highlights of him too. But he is an undefeated fighter. He fought primarily in the Philippines and other Asian countries like that. So he's relatively unknown, but he is an undefeated fighter and he doesn't know how to lose. And he's coming to win, right? He's coming to put on. I think he's like 35 years old. He's coming to really cash out on his career and see if he can make a major step. So this is gonna be a career defining moment for him. So I expect him to give it his all. But I think Emmanuel Navarrete, he's a proven fighter, proven champion. I think he's gonna win. I got him by stoppage, man. But yeah, that's a good question, though, Oscar. I would say no. I think he should stay at 130. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Tufo. We get to hustle off the muscle, man. You know what I'm talking about? They do a tier list. Hey, we could do some tier lists, man. I haven't done a tier list in a minute, man. Today's Thursday. We could also do a square up, but people don't really want to do it. You know what I'm talking about? They want to do it when they want to do it. Nah, bro, you got to schedule that thing. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all rocking as always, man. Shout out to my guy Clone for hitting me on the Cash App. Shout out to my guy George the Last Patriot. You know what I'm saying? For hitting me on the super chat as well. You know, hey, turn me up, man. We are at 2,778 subscribers, man. So let's keep going, man. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Tell other people about the channel if you enjoy the channel as well. You know, just keep us going and growing. And hit that bell to turn on notifications, man. We drop videos throughout the day, you know, in addition to going live for twice a day. Yo, we got the morning show at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're a little late today. Don't talk about that. I had to go eat and take care of some things. And then also we do the late show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to seeing y'all, man. Appreciate everybody chopping it up. We could do a tier list later on, you know, especially if I can't think of any topics to discuss. Yeah, we could come back and do a tier list. I'm not opposed to that. But subscribe to the channel. Definitely smack that like button if you haven't done so already. And yeah, man, I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side, man. Y'all take care of yourselves. But most importantly, even more important than all that, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Hey, shout out to all the members, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all really hold it down for the channel. And appreciate everybody, but especially the members, man. Y'all be easy. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.